Arc Raiders lore is so incredibly interesting. All of the mystery and fan theories are half the fun in my opinion. That's why I went to the greatest minds of the internet, Reddit. More specifically, r/Arc Raiders. And I looked around for some intriguing fan theories. Here are my 5-ish favorites. Starting off, we got Arc Orbiter Lore Theory by Cam_V12. Hey Raiders, I've been thinking a lot about the mysterious Arc Orbiter, more specifically, why it shows up when it does and what this actually means. I'm convinced there's a solid in-universe explanation for it beyond functioning as the extraction timer. Here's my theory. The Arc obviously weren't built as random murder bots. They're a planetary scale threat detection system. The responses are automated, timed, and predictable. They scan their environment, identify anomalies, and deploy force accordingly. As Raiders, everything we do creates the exact kind of disorder that the Arc have been engineered to suppress. The longer we stay topside destroying drones, triggering alarms, etc., the more this activity is compounded into a traceable footprint and an actionable threat. Once that footprint crosses a critical threshold, roughly when extraction timer hits the last 10 minutes, the Arc Orbiter receives a high-tier security alert, concentrated Raider life signs, heavy interference, and unacceptable asset loss. The response is simple and absolute. Sterilize the grid. Reset equilibrium. So when we hear Shawnee's warning that an Arc Orbiter is on its way, what she's really telling us is, you have overstayed. The Arc now have your exact coordinates. Orbital assets are being repositioned to wipe your AO clean. Extract or die. This adds a whole new level of intrigue and enjoyment to what I previously assumed was a pretty straightforward detail. Now I'm left wondering how all this ties into the finals lore. The sponsors from that universe evidently exist in Arc Raiders. You can spot their logos in Codex art and even around Speranza, which makes me believe that these aren't just Easter eggs, but evidence that the final sponsors might actually be far-reaching, technocratic megacorps, operating literally above the lower class. Alright. I really like this one specifically because it ties itself into that finals and Arc Raiders is kind of connected. And I love that idea because Embark seems like that type of company to do that sort of thing. To have both universes be in the same universe. And the fact that the Arc might be like tracking us from some surveillance tower or whatever on wherever the hell they're from is so interesting to me. And it adds a level of immersion to these arcs that I didn't really think of before. Alright, the second fan theory, coming from Bad Tank 01. Discussing arc theories, possibly man-made? I feel the Arc aren't aliens like we are told. I'm pretty convinced they are man-made machines gone rogue. We know the world before was advanced enough for not only space travel, but also to build androids. And the new map, Stella Montis having a library of historical records and Seed Vault, really screams, we knew this could happen, to me. I personally think humans created androids advanced enough to build the Arc for them, and they sent them into inhospitable places in space to build the Arc and then send them down. But maybe something went wrong, and androids revolted and decided to try and conquer Earth for themselves using the Arc. This has a lot of holes in it, and doesn't have as much detail as I would like to give, but the big question I'm stuck on is why would they need to build the Arc? I can only think of some form of war, but there's not much evidence of war happening other than with the Arcs. Here's a reply to that post that disagrees. I don't think they've gone rogue at all. 1. Earth has the Exodus several hundred years ago, seemingly rich and influential people leaving for space as the ecosystem collapses. This is why Spaceport has a departure lounge, although also arrivals, interestingly enough. 2. Once a bunch of people head off, the poor are left on a dying Earth. They scrape by, not hearing anything about what happened to those who escaped the planet, until suddenly the first wave arrive. 3. They fight back, winning against the first wave, and try to retake their surface life. This is undone by the second wave, which is basically what we are in an ongoing conflict with now. My theory is that either the Ark were sent by the wealthy dickbags to try and cleanse the planet so it could be terraformed and recolonized. Why does Ark have surveyors mapping terrain? What is the Harvester event that the Queen is guarding? Every few minutes it fires off rockets containing whatever it seems to have harvested. Probes come and go, doing something. My stranger theory is that the humans that went to space suffered just as much, if not more, than those who were left behind. Space sucks. Radiation exposure would breed a whole bunch of new cancers alone, so how do we survive in space for an indefinite amount of time? New bodies, new configurations of human. Maybe we even build a new network of drones for us to control from a distance, combining our minds in order to maximize our ability to run such a large network. You see, I personally like the latter theory. The fact that the Ark might be something that these Belvy dickbags sent to Earth to try to cleanse the planet is very interesting to me. Alright guys, before I continue on to the next fan theory, I gotta plug my channel. If you are enjoying this video so far, it would be greatly appreciated if you could leave me a like and a sub, and I don't know, comment what your favorite theory was in this video. That would be greatly appreciated by me. Thanks guys. Here's the next one. The Ark was created/designed by elites to exterminate everyone left behind. Why do I say this? Why is this my theory behind the Ark, that the elites created them? All the science buildings and cameras alert the Ark even when they're not near and shouldn't hear the sound. Same with the door alarms. The Ark seem to hover around all the science facilities, which is also where we find the most tech. The probes constantly going to and from space, as well as the snitches after they report you, fly up into space never to be seen again. As well, all of these probes going to and from space could be reporting to those elites, which gather data, now feed back to the Ark below, helping aid in the machine's adaptability. As the Ark Raider storyline continues and evolve, they find/create new Ark machines to aid in our demise. Not to mention that the Ark doesn't mine for resources. They don't do anything but lurk around waiting to kill. They are machines though, and can or could be shut off with the flip of a switch. EMP, think of the stun grenades. Once Earth is clean of us raiders, they can return and have the Ark switch from death machines to construction/cleaning machines. This one makes a little bit less sense to me, just in his reasoning, because why would they do this? Why would the elite send them down just to kill the remaining people left behind? What's the reasoning? What harm are the raiders down here doing? What would make more sense is having them probe, survey, all that type of thing that we see them doing already, to prepare to mine, to prepare to harvest, all that type of stuff. I think that is a much more likely scenario than just killing for the sake of killing. Alright, here's the next, and in my opinion, probably the most interesting one. This one was posted on the Finals subreddit, but it is Ark Raiders connected. This post comes from Designer Pizza 3389. Lore theory. Could the Finals be the elite society that left Earth in Ark Raiders? This is a fan theory, not official lore. I'm sharing it because I noticed patterns and hints that just suggest a possible connection between Ark Raiders and the Finals. Of course, it could all be coincidence, but the evidence is interesting enough to discuss. 1. The elite leaves Earth in Ark Raiders. In Ark Raiders, Earth faces a catastrophic climate crisis, and a segment of humanity, the elite, decides to leave the planet. They escape in capsules and establish themselves elsewhere, while most humans remain behind, dealing with the chaotic environment. To survive, the elite still need resources, and they send Ark machines back to Earth. Observing Arks show that they aren't primarily designed for combat. Most focus on collecting resources, scanning and surveying, guarding or maintaining certain areas. Their aggression seems defensive rather than offensive. This suggests Arks were built mainly as resource gatherers, not soldiers. This sets the stage for the elite living in space, controlling Earth indirectly, while the machines handle the hard labor. 2. The Finals as a simulation for the elite. The Finals presents a world completely different in tone, flashy, bright, and showy, full of sponsors, logos, and a live audience, focused on entertainment and spectacle. There is no mention of Earth's destruction or the Arks, perhaps deliberately. The elite use this simulation as a distraction or form of control, keeping their society entertained and removed from the harsh realities of Earth. This resembles the Roman circus concept, lavish entertainment to occupy attention while true events remain hidden. 3. Supporting hints from the finals. In one of the seasons before the full release, a sponsor/security company faced hacking attempts that tried to expose hidden information. This could hint that there is something concealed beneath the game's surface. Some items and materials in the finals, such as heavy items and healing orbs, visually resemble resources or metals from Arc Raiders. Certain arenas and map designs in the finals resemble industrial or abandoned areas similar to locations seen in Arc Raiders. Repeated sponsors, brands, and certain visual elements may hint at a shared universe or at least the same conceptual origin. 4. Why this explains the tone difference. Arc Raiders is dark, survival-driven, and focused on human struggle. The finals is playful, extravagant, and violent in a simulated way. If the elite never experienced the collapse directly and live in a controlled simulation, it explains why the tone shifts so dramatically. Meanwhile, Earth remains chaotic, mined by arcs, but irrelevant to the elite as long as resources keep coming. Honestly, I love this one so much. Having both Embark games together in the same universe, same lore, makes so much sense and seems so perfect that it makes sense that Embark would do this. All of this guy's reasonings seem incredibly valid. The fact that those simulations in the finals are there to distract or dissuade from the real thing happening on Earth with all the arcs and stuff is incredible to me. That's such an interesting idea, and honestly, seems so plausible. Alright, on to the 5th and final one. Here we have Chief Shields talking about Arc Raiders lore speculation. There is this vibe that permeates through the maps, the architecture, and the outfits, a mourning for a bright, optimistic future that was lost, that never came. No, for a brighter future that was taken from us. This same vibe flows through the Division, with the Christmas that never was because of the pandemic outbreak, and everything falling apart. I am dying to know more about the lore and story behind this world, and hoping that it matches up to the brilliance of so much else that we've seen. With all the spacey outfits, it makes me wonder if mankind made it to space, perhaps a moon base, some orbiting space stations and harvesting of asteroids, but something bad happened on Earth and no one was sending supplies anymore, so everyone had to migrate back. However, with the spaceport there, a similar explanation might be lots of looting of outfits and equipment from there, but I hope it's something closer to the other idea. Switching gears a bit, I'm not convinced that all the Ark is alien. They appear to have advanced technology, but not alien technology. So I'm so curious about them as well. Honestly, I feel like this guy is just speaking for all of us here. Just the amount of curiosity and questions that this game gives us. This post was before the official launch of the game, so his ideas are a bit shorthanded of what we already know. He's not convinced the Ark is alien at all. It appeared to have advanced technology, but not alien technology. Yeah, I think this kind of speaks for all of us. We're all curious about the Ark, what they are, what the Raiders are. The Raiders are the original humans, that they came from space, whatever the hell is going on. The connections with the finals, all the elites and all that stuff. Man, this game is deep, and I cannot wait to see what Embark has to offer us in the future. Anyways guys, that's enough from me. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please be sure to leave a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Have a good one, guys.